2-3 weeks about continuous robberies targeting petrol stations. It so appears that these attacks still continue. During the previous week, we registered 2 more aggravated robberies by criminal gangs targeting fuel stations. Like we indicated before, the robbers either disguise as clients, branching to refuel their vehicles, then round up the private security guards and other staff on the night shift, especially between 1 to 4 a.m., which is very convenient time for robbers. For instance, the beginning of last week, on the 28th of April, around 1 a.m., Total fuel station Semto branch in Nakaseke was raided by 5 suspects who were armed with iron bars. They also indicate that their assailants had guns, which we are also investigating. And these attackers rounded up all the guards and staff, tied them up. They broke into the safe. They broke into the offices, broke the safe, and they took all the money that was inside. Now the difference this time, these robbers also came with a truck, and they loaded goods and items from the supermarket. So you can imagine how bold these thugs are these days, that they can even take time to rob and even pack items from the supermarket. An innocent border rider called Sembajo Charles also fell victim when he branched at this Total Petrol station while riding his motorcycle, registration number UDM 829F. They beat him seriously and also robbed his motorcycle. Again, on the 30th of April, a group of thugs attacked Seka Energy petrol station found in Kayunga. That was around 2 a.m. They killed the private security guard called Waiswa John, 36. His colleague Kasonga Suleiman, 37, was found unconscious after they they suspectedly chloroformed him and tied him. The thugs also vandalized 2 motor vehicles that were parked at this petrol station. And of course, when they informed the police, we tried to respond and found when the thugs had already left, but we managed to arrest one of the pump attendants who absconded from duty that night. So we want to issue another warning to proprietors and dealers of these petrol stations. They need to thoroughly audit the security processes at these petrol stations so as to enable them fill the security gaps in place. These 2 incidents and the previous incidents really show that the proprietors and dealers at these petrol stations are not doing enough as far as security is concerned. Our Department of Private and Security Organizations has held meetings with supervisors of private security organizations to ensure that their levels of inspection are increased, and for them to carry out guard duties in areas where they can effectively supervise. This will help the guards from falling victim during these attacks, because in most of the incidents, we've noticed that the guards have been subdued, have been attacked, have been arrested, and then which basically shows that there are low levels of vigilance and alertness at these guard points by the guards. There was one incident of child homicide which was very gruesome. This one happened in Kasanda district, and our officers there are actively searching for 2 suspects who actually waylaid 3 victims, including a mother who was carrying a 3-year-old baby boy on the back. This was at Kalungi Village, Musozi Parish, Chiganda Sub-County in Kasanda District. The preliminary information indicates that the victims included Shema Lawrence, aged 32, a peasant of Kalungi Village, who actually went to the trading center at Kalungi to go and pick his wife, Nachiyinji Betty, with their 3-year-old son called Chiza Emmanuel. The wife, Nachiyinji, was working in one of the local bars at the trading center, so it was around 11 p.m. that the husband picked her, and they were on their way home. They also met another colleague called Katumba Jimmy along the way, so there were 3 adults and the male juvenile. Unfortunately, they fell into an ambush that was laid by Ahimbisibwe Nixon and his colleague called Mwanje, who were waiting for them in a dark corner. They pounced on them and managed to attack and cut Jimmy Katumba to the head. Then another suspect attacked the female victim, Nachiyinji, and tried to cut her head, but instead hacked the head of the 3-year-old male juvenile who was being carried at the back. This innocent 3-year-old died instantly. And so these matters, we continue to investigate them, but the motive is could have been a crime of passion, because Ahimbisibwe, who is on the run, at one time fell in love with the wife of Shema Lawrence, that is Nachiyinji, when they had imprisoned him. So when the husband came back from prison, the wife went back, returned to the husband, which angered Ahimbisibwe. Then at some stage during this year, Nachiyinji went back again to Ahimbisibwe. So it was, that is the triangle that was existing in between. Then finally, Lawrence was going again to pick her back and take her back. So these are some of the games that are out there. But what is disturbing is that these are life-threatening dealings. We also registered some murders by assault in Kagadi district. We registered a case where Tumukunde Python, a 14-year-old male juvenile and casual worker in Ngusi village, went to one of the chapati stalls of Tashobia Sharif, aged 16. He picked 2 chapatis worth 1,000 shillings, which he ate and failed to pay. Now, this led to a serious fight between these 2 young boys, and one of the employers of Tashobia Sharif, called Mande Muhammad, 45-year-old, instead of coming and seeing how to separate and manage this issue, he also went ahead and participated in the serious beating of Tumukunde Python. This is a boy who retired and went back home, but because of the serious injuries that were inflicted on him, he succumbed to the injuries at around 3 a.m. just because of 1,000 shillings. That's why we come out and talk about this incident. So we managed to arrest Mande Muhammad, 45-year-old businessman, together with his work at Tashobia Sharif, and we are charging them for murder.
Well, we are investigating an incident in relation to Eid Day. There were some youths who were arrested during prayers at Old Kampala, who were participating in pickpocketing, stealing some property from people who had gone for worshipping. They are about 20 in number, and they are currently detained at Old Kampala Police Station. We were also able to arrest 37 suspects who are also found at different venues of concerts that were in the jurisdiction of Petrol Police. Petrol Police hosted the biggest number of concerts, about 7 for Eid Day, and 37 suspects were arrested on allegations of theft. There are some phones that have also been recovered, and we shall be relaying this information further and informing the owners to come and pick these phones at the relevant police stations, as I will indicate in the statement I will be writing earlier on.